Hey everyone, welcome to our weekend Wanderlust. I'm Samantha,
And I'm Diana.
and this
And
is
we
the
were supposed to say hi to each other because we forgot. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, Diana. I told you it's going to change every freaking time. Um, so welcome to our weekend edition of our Kiss podcast, which is Kiss.
Keep it simple, sister.
I like you're um, okay, so yeah, we just
Keep
got to
it
cut up
simple,
here a little
sister.
bit.
I'll try to
Um,
do different intonation if you want me to. Okay.
So with our weekend wanderlust this time, we are following up from our Tuesday podcast, which was all about true or false. And this is a fabulous conversation to have, like to explore all of this, because it's learning how to discern things for yourself. What works for you, what feels right to you, what doesn't feel so good, not based off of gathering everyone else's opinions and letting that sway you one way or the other, but by you going in, checking in with yourself. And if I get woo woo just for a moment, it's you checking in with your higher self. And your higher self sees 360, knows what's best for you. And your higher self is trying to guide you all the time, but generally you're not listening. So
Right. And the
it's lots
tuning
of fun.
in is the fun part. The
Yeah.
tuning into the guidance is fun. Once you start really listening and tuning in, it makes a difference in your life.
To me, it's like, okay, and let the games begin. Like, because then all
And
these fun little things come around.
sometimes it's the Hunger Games, but mostly it's the fun games.
That's so funny. I don't know how to follow that one up.
I laughed and then needed
Snorted.
tissue.
Okay,
Sorry.
sorry. All right. So when we were talking about it, we were saying that there's several different ways for you within your body to discern what is true and what is false. And one of the first things we mentioned, and this is, I don't want to say this is next level or, advanced level. To me, it's just so I'm so used to it. And I teach my clients this. I teach them a lot of different methods, but I mentioned about the energy, like feeling the energy move in your body. So if something is truth and it's positive, you feel it move up and expand. And if it's negative, if it's not the truth, if it's not the way you should go or whatever, you will feel it clench, you'll feel it contract, and it's like, oh.
Do you
And
want to practice one more time in
um,
case they didn't get a chance to see Tuesday?
yeah, we can do that. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
So hold on. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat.
So, what Samantha was talking about while she gets herself together is that this is something that she does with her clients to help them tune in to listening to their inner.
Inner voice, because I want to empower them. I love having clients. I love having repeat clients because then I'm able to teach them so much. But if not, hey, I want to make sure if it's a one-time person that they walk away having tools that are going to be beneficial. So this is definitely one of them.
And
Uh,
one of the things that one of the things that drew me to doing this podcast is so we're both teachers. I did it as go to school and teach the children kind of thing. But I've always also been a sharer of information and want to teach people stuff. So Samantha has taught me so much. That was kind of my draw to this. I'd love to teach all the people the things that Samantha has taught me and the things that I've learned along the way.
I love that. And so that everyone knows when I'm doing this stuff, it's like next leveling me. I learn more and more from the people that I work with. So like, especially when I'm doing my readings, it's mediumship or whatever. I'm
Mhm.
constantly being given new information I didn't know before. So it's beneficial to all, which is why it's so lovely sharing all of this information, which I'm going to just throw in one more woo woo thing. And that's that
Okay.
we're not actually, well, we are learning, but the thing is, we kind of already know it all. We just
Oh,
have
forgot
that
it.
people, yeah, we have this veil that so we're not aware. And so as we sometimes you learn something, you're like, I knew that. I know that. Like I
Yeah,
knew, and it feels familiar. But anyway, okay. So we were gonna do
we're
an
going to
example.
practice it. Yes.
Okay, so close your eyes And I just want you to, you're going to pay attention to where the energy goes in your body. So right now you're not really feeling anything. And I want you to think on one of the best memories you have. Maybe it's your child, maybe, when they're born, maybe it's holding a cute, fluffy little kitty, or, going to the beach one day, but just take a snapshot and focus in on that thing which lights you up and let it just build and build and build in your chest. Well, I shouldn't have said that. I'm telling you where it comes from. You'll feel it usually like from your chest up, and you'll feel it expand out.
Yes.
Okay. So
Got it.
release, keep your eyes closed, but release that thought and just kind of go back into a neutral space. And now I want you to think about something that really ticked you off. Maybe a driver cut in front of you. Maybe it's every time someone calls you. Maybe it's the way someone says stuff. I don't know, anything, but just get a snapshot of that and focus in on that feeling. And notice, you knew where that state was when you were feeling good. So now where is that feeling? Has it expanded or has it contracted? Hint,
Well,
it's going to have contracted, and you're going to feel
I
it
feel
in
it in
your
my
gut.
stomach, in my gut, in
Mhm.
my center of my
And
body.
let me just remind everybody, now release from that. Go back into that neutral state, because I don't want to leave people in that negative state.
No, 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 definitely not.
It's almost like hypnosis, and you're like, okay, see you later, rah, 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 Um, so that's one thing. And then another thing we talked about was the human pendulum.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that more in just a moment. But there's also, just for fun, okay, a lot of people love collecting rocks or stones or crystals. And so this is make it stop. This was one of my first pendulums. There, if I put it up there, you can see it better.
Yeah, that's good.
So that was one of my first pendulums, and it is citrine, and it's got so many occlusions anyway. I love this. And I knew that this was the right stone for me because it never needs to be cleared, supposedly. So you don't have to, it's low maintenance crystal, but that's getting into a whole
Which
bunch
is
of
what
other
I
things.
need too. I need some low maintenance crystal.
So I love this one. So anyway, with this, and they always say that when you're doing this kind of work, like that, the one we just did had to do with your feelings. This one's working with all your electrical system a lot. So they say to drink plenty of water, because water conducts electrical impulses through your body. So you basically just want to be able to hold the pendulum in front of you and wait till it's perfectly still. Like, before I was showing it, it was all over the place, and now it's pretty still.
Yeah.
And then you ask, show me yes.
And do you see it spinning? It's spinning in a clockwise manner, if you can see that.
Okay, now stop, please. I know I'm very polite with my crystal. And so then I'm going to say, show me no.
And you see it's going back and forth. It's not really spinning. It's
Isn't that
going from side
interesting?
to side, side to side.
It's
Yeah.
always done that for me.
And and you are,
That's
and at first I was like, well, she's moving her fingers. If you watch and go back and rewind this and watch it, her fingers are not moving at all.
well, and generally when you're doing it, you want to rest your arm so that, you've created a support and you're doing as little as possible. You can even get, like I've seen people have pyramids, and so it's hanging from the pyramid. But the thing is, to me, I think having your energy is going to guide it regardless, but having it
Yeah.
attached to your body, I think helps. So you can ask it, excuse me, you can ask it yes or no questions and get really good guidance. Again, it's going to be 20 questions, you're playing that
Like to
game.
get to what you want. Now
Yeah.
I did see a video on YouTube where the person held it in their hand like this and then put their arm on, so pretend like this is the end of a chair,
Hmm.
and then just prop their arm, not the hand where it is, but just your arm right here, and then have it hanging from your hand. So that's a real good way to balance it too, because sometimes for me I get a little shaky if I'm trying to do it like what you just did.
Exactly. And for anyone that just goes, "Oh my God, I gotta try that. I wanna do that." I will put a link, in our store and in the podcast episode post, if you're interested in learning more about these, because I mean, I haven't done this for a while, and it's like, "Oh my God, my crystal, I miss it so much."
God, yes, yes.
Like,
Well, and here's another thing, if you order it, and now for Amazon, you'll get it tomorrow or whatever, but you could also take a necklace, right? Like, I mean, you're wearing a necklace that has a crystal on it, but it could just be any kind of necklace that has something heavy on it. That energy will still go through there and move it. I think it's easier to see with the
yeah.
pendulum and the crystals.
Well, the reason why I like using a crystal more, is because you there's a lot that goes on with crystals where you can clear them, and then you can set the intent, the energy of what they are. If this is the one that I want to use, I've let it know what I'm looking for is truth, whether it's
Uh,
positive or negative. I want truth. And my intentions kept clear about that. It's like, don't shine me on kind of thing. And you develop a relationship with it. Whereas other
It's
objects,
all very woo woo, but believe it because it works.
yeah, and other objects, yes, they can work. It's just, to me, there's more of a sacredness with your crystal. So,
Well,
and
and I
that helps
wasn't,
yeah,
yeah, I wasn't suggesting use the necklace in general, just if you're really anxious to try it out, like I would be,
give it
and
a
I can't
go.
wait till tomorrow, maybe I'll try it with a necklace until I get my crystal.
And why not? Because the thing is, if your intent is clear, if your energy is very clear about it, then, yes, you should be able to hold a bag of dog poop and have
Oh,
it,
nice.
just depend on how long, the thing like, seriously, it shouldn't really matter
And
what you use, because
I'm
you're
not authorizing the dog poop. I'm just not, but okay.
it just occurred to me. Because okay, when things like that come through, they're just like, you can do it with anything. Like you're saying, they were correcting me with you, making it clear. And you guys, I do this a lot when I'm talking to Diana or I'm in session, where I'm telling someone something, and all of a sudden my guides come through and they're like, "Oh, no, 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 you need to correct that." And so you might hear me go, "Oh, wait, reverse. Okay, let me expand on this."
Well, and there are times when I'm talking to her and I was like, see what your people think about this. What do
Yeah,
people think?
yeah, yeah. And
I call her guides her people.
and
And
it's
we
such
all
a
have them,
conversation.
but she's just easy. It's easy for her. She's used to tuning into them and paying attention to it. And I'm working on it.
Yeah. I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the one that we talked about, well, we said that about, you brought up something while we were on break about muscle testing this way. Explain that.
Yeah, it's moving your finger. I had a hard time with it. I saw it on YouTube somewhere, but if you just, place it on the same hand, your thumb and one of your fingers. It can be whatever one, but the pointer seems to work better. And then just rub it back and forth. And then if you ask a yes question, you'll feel something in your fingers. And if you
Yeah.
ask it a no question, you'll feel something different. So for me, it felt like for yes, it got a little tacky, like it almost was pushing this finger onto my thumb harder.
Mhm.
And for the no, it kind of lifted my finger up a little bit.
That's
But
interesting.
everybody has a different reaction. So that's why doing those tester questions about your name or something that's obviously
Show me
true,
yes, show me
obviously
no.
false, whatever to give you your yes and no.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good you need to practice it. You need to kind of become a student of it, not just give it a shot one time and go, well, that didn't turn out,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
because you're developing this relationship with your body and using your body as an antenna to reach out to higher sources to get guidance. So
Yeah.
it's a lot. um okay, so but the weekend wanderlust, what is it we say, the mission? So I can't,
Your mission, if you choose to accept it.
Diane, I'm just gonna have to say, okay, you say it, because I always start it and then I can't. I'm so bad. I say, like, duck off a water's back.
What? Your mission, if you choose to accept it.
Like I can't see
Try it,
trees.
you'll like it. I'll keep trying. I'll
Oh.
try and come up with some different things, just to spice it up a bit.
Okay. So so what we're gonna have y'all do is the human pendulum where you stand. Should I stand up?
Yes, let's show and tell.
I don't think I can get back far enough.
Okay, so what I do is I stand by my counter in my bathroom, my by my sink, and I step back like about 6 inches. I step back about 6 inches from there, feet flat, just standing straight.
And down so you can see. Okay. But anyway, so you would stand here and you would say, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not on even ground where I am, but you'd say, show me yes. And your body's either going to kind of like fall forward like that, show me no, and it'll kind of just start to go back. Don't let yourself go too far. And especially because if you ever do this in a store, you just need it, you just need the feeling of, is it going forward or is
Yeah,
it going back?
the
And my
movement doesn't have to be complete. You just feel the movement.
Mhm. And for me, I will go off to the side, like yeah, maybe kind of thing. And I'll kind of go off to the side again if it's more of a, back, if it's kind of a maybe no. And that's
And
just
see, I don't have mine are just yes or no. I don't have any of the maybe in between, but it might be that the questions that I'm asking don't lend themselves to maybe. And one of the reasons I like to do it in my bathroom is if I start to go back, I can catch myself on the counter. So I don't go back and, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you can kind of control it, but I balance myself and reposition straight up and down by holding on to the counter. And then I put my arms down at the
Yeah,
side.
that's good. And make sure that your feet are, just shoulder width apart, flat.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's the weekend wanderlust. We want you to practice that. And first thing you're going to do, so it's the human pendulum, and you're going to stand and just ask, show or say, show me yes, and show me no. And the thing is, you want to give it a moment to show. Oh,
Yeah.
and like I said, do drink water. Like have a glass of water beforehand. Give it a chance to get through your system. I know that can seem a weird thing to do, but it really makes a difference. So show me yes, see which way you fall. And if you fall back for yes, as long as you try it a couple of times, you want to look for what's consistent.
Well, and again, both of us were talking about it. It kind of works differently for different people. So that's why doing this kind of testing thing is a good idea. And are you
Exactly.
going to tell them to do their name and not their name? Because I
Yeah.
know
And
that's
so
what
then I
this
want you to do the okay, say my name, because you want to always say it in a statement like my name is Samantha. Okay, I should fall forward because that's truth. And then my name is, Gertrude McBride. I don't know. You should fall back,
uh-huh.
hopefully. And so you test yourself on a couple of questions like that. So do your name and test that. And then do name. I'm just writing down these steps so we don't forget because like we make up a lot
Yes.
of this stuff on the fly. And then
As
the
we are doing
last
right
one,
now, usually.
yes, the last one, um, we okay, I think let's do this. I keep getting the nudge. So we've been talking
Okay.
about whether we should try to get y'all to go to the store and do this or not. But the thing is, that's where it's most beneficial. Like that's where it's so freaking cool to use it because you go to the store and you've got all of these. Okay, maybe you just want to know, like Diana had brought up about the sugar. Do you remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them that?
Yeah. So you can, and you can even do this in your kitchen or at the store or whatever, if you've got the things in your kitchen, but we want you to go someplace and do something fun because you've got to wander. So the sugar is holding natural cane sugar in your hand and asking, is this good for can you do better? Which one is
You could say,
better?
well, because you can't hold them at the same time.
Right.
So
So
it's
I'm thinking about comparing
yeah,
aspartame or
yes,
sweet
you
and
can.
low or whatever, something that's not a natural thing for your body,
So
not naturally occurring.
you would start off with, is this Can my body handle this? If you get a yes, then say, is this good for my body? Well, then you might get a no. And then you go, okay, grab something else and hold it and say, is this better for my body? So do you see the difference? You started off with,
Yeah.
can my
You're
body
still
handle
only
this?
asking about one thing. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So you want to get, kind of something on the first one, then it can compare to. Or you can sit there and go, is this okay for my body? You'll get a yes or a no. And then hold another thing and say, is this good for my body? I mean, I think it's better just to go, is this good for my body? You get a yes or a no. And say you get two things that say yes, then do the better.
Yes,
You
like
know, it,
individually each one. And you can do it with processed food, like, okay, so I have an oatmeal pie and an apple. Like I could do an apple, I could do an oatmeal pie, whatever. And
so
then
yeah,
try that yes or no.
you can go to the store, and I want you guys to get creative with this. So maybe it's that you pick up some cookies and then you go to the fruit aisle, right? And then you just kind of hold the cookies. So this is the idea, is that you're doing this like, spy style, incognito or whatever. So you
Yeah.
just hold the cookie box, like hold it in your arms, because you want it in your space, in your energetic space. It's important. And then just say, are these cookies good for my body? And just see which way you go. And then set the cookies down, and like nobody's gonna, like you're just gonna fall a little forward or back. Like all people know is that you're being thoughtful. Like, do I want to buy this? They have no clue what you're thinking. Don't have that in your mind. Is this good
Right.
for my body? Set it down, pick up the apples, hold the apples. Is this good for my body? And see if it says yes or no. And then ask, if it says yes, then say, is this better for my body than the cookies? You can say that,
Okay.
and you'll get a yes or a no. So you can do this with getting cookies and apples, or like Diana, is saying, to go get something processed and something, healthier. Or what was another one? Like if you're not feeling well right now and you're trying to decide, for me, I love using this when it comes to figuring out like which allergy medicine would be better for me, because we mentioned before, there's like 4 different brands. So, I find it really helpful. So just it's going to the store, either use it with food or use it with medicine, depending on what it is you need, and just see which one feels right to you. But you got to practice your yes and no. And I usually, when I'm in the store, I'll say, show me yes, show me no. And I do it super fast. So I just look for
So you
that little
remember
hint.
what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like to you.
Yep. Because the polarities can switch on you, which I know sounds weird. But like you saw, I fell forward and back. But yet when I use a pendulum, it's always been, like a circle one way and then a back and forth for yes or no. And it'll go back and forth for maybe. Like, so it goes this way for no. Anyway, it gets crazy. So you have to like know what your responses are.
And then we're using this for you guys to practice something that you can have in your hand, have by your body, but it can also be used to help you make a decision about something,
Mm.
um, which I mean, it could be a big life decision, or I think you talked about going to a party.
Mhm.
Is it good for me to go to the party, or how are
Like,
you going to phrase that? Because I'm saying that wrong, I think.
no, it's like, think about like, you're really itchy to buy a car. You're so sick of your car and you're really itchy to buy it. And you sit there and you go, um, itchy. I don't know why I said itchy. That's a weird one. Antsy. I don't know, not antsy, but
Excited,
you're frozen to buy a new car.
right?
And so you sit there and you go, like, okay, new car would make me feel great. Yes or no. And then go the responsibilities of paying for a new car, because generally it's going to cost more.
Yeah.
Um, you know, feels, how does that feel in my body? You could ask that. And you're either going to move forward or back. And if you go back, it's like, trust that, because you may want a new car, but your
But it's
body
not
is going
the
to tell you, nope, this experience is not going to, and then you could ask, I like the idea of having a new car. And, you'll probably get a yes. And, so then understand that it's getting the new car is not going to be the thing that is going to be of benefit to you. It's going to be, I'm sorry, throwing in a next level thing real quick. it's going to be the feeling of what it would feel like to have a new car. And so that feeling might be freedom. So then find another way to feel freedom without buying the new car. But muscle testing, body testing, human pendulum testing brought you to that understanding. Does that
Yes.
make sense? People might
Yeah,
need
and sometimes it's not the answer that you want because that's not the right thing. There's also another way where if you have somebody with you, you can try and push your arm down or up. Explain
yeah.
that. Have you ever?
Yeah, and that there's a lot to do with that where they'll hold maybe a substance within your body range and they'll do like it's a weakness in your arm or whatever. There's a number of ways to do these, but
We're
let's
just
make
trying to come up with what's the most simple for you to try
sure.
out, and then we'll have some other ideas in the blog.
Yep. So your weekend wanderlust specifically is to do the human pendulum, ask yourself yes or no, understand which is which direction for you. Then say your name and then give a false name, understand that feeling, and then go to the store and test out two very different items, whether it's sugar and fake sugar or maybe processed cheese and real cheese, whatever it is, and then come
Yeah.
back and tell us. And we would love for you to reply in the comments or come back to
And
our group.
if you pull out your phone, you can take a picture of the two things.
Oh my God, that would be cool.
And I would like to give some sort of a prize. We don't know what it is yet. For the person who has the most creative question, the thing that they compared at the store.
Okay. Yes. And got a legit response to it. You can't
Right.
just go, yeah, I did it. And wow, nothing happened. No, it's got to be,
No. And
yes,
we will know. Samantha's people will tell us.
we know things. No, I can't read into your mind.
I know.
Um, but anyway, this will be fun. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We wrapping it up? We
Wrap it up.
wrapping it up, girl. Okay, wrap it up. So you guys, welcome to this weekend Wanderlust and have a wonderful weekend.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.